Now we're going to use the try and catch statements to validate a password input and show error messages on the web page. Okay, so let's create first our input. But before we do that, let's just create a paragraph. Okay. Okay, so the paragraph is going to be saying your password should contain at least 6 characters, 1 number, and 1 capital letter. Okay. And then we're going to have another paragraph. So this one is going to be enter password. Okay, followed by a line break. And then the password input. Okay. So we're going to give it an ID, password, and a type password. And another paragraph, so this time re-enter password, and the ID is going to be password 2. Okay. All right. Also, we need a button, a submit button. So button. Okay. And when we click on the button, we're gonna run a function that we will define later, and this function is going to be check. And let's put some text there. Submit. Okay, let's see. It is working. Okay, so for now, let's just comment the previous code that we've done. All right. Okay, now we're gonna define the function check, which will validate the user input. Okay. All right, so we're going to use the keyword function, then the name is check. Okay, so first of all, we're going to declare a couple of variables, password and password2, to retrieve the values of the 2 passwords. So first one is password, and it's going to be document gets elements by ID, and we're looking at password. Okay, and looking at the value. And then the next one is going to be password 2, and we're looking at ID password 2. Okay, also we're going to define another variable, error message. Okay, which is going to be the value of the error paragraph, the error paragraph itself, and then we're going to access the any HTML later. Okay, so and one last one, we need another variable. It's going to be the error that we're going to be throwing. So error to throw. So at the moment it's just an empty string. All right. Now we're going to have our try statement and catch statement. So okay, so try statement, and then we're going to put the piece of code in the try statements, and then we're going to have a catch statement, and then we'll put the other piece of code inside the catch statement. Okay, All right, so first thing is the password should include at least 6 characters. So we're going to be checking the length of the password. Also, we need to check that there is 1 capital letter and also 1 number. And finally, we need to make sure that the 2 passwords, they match. So let's have a look at the first condition of the length of the password. So we're just going to go and say something like this. So if the password length is less than 6, okay, then the error to throw, okay, we're gonna add to it first of all a line break, okay, and we're gonna say password too short. Okay, so this is the first one. Okay, and the other condition is, so we need to make sure that the password has got 1 capital letter. So we're gonna use the test method. Okay, and we need the regex here. So if the regex is gonna be / and then between brackets capital letter A2 capital letter Z, okay, and we're doing a global search, okay, and then dot test, and our string here is the password, okay. So if this is false, then we're gonna run this piece of code, which is to add to the error to throw. Again, we're gonna add something similar to this, and we're just gonna say password should include at least 1 capital letter. Okay. And then the next one is going to be testing whether the password has got at least 1 digit. It's going to be a similar code. So rather than having this regex, the syntax is going to be backslash and small d for digits. Okay. And the message is going to be at least 1 digit. And finally, we need to make sure that the 2 passwords are the same. So if password is different from password 2, okay, then we're going to add to the error to throw okay, passwords, they should match. Okay. If we use the throw error to throw in one of the codes here, then it will show us only one problem. Okay. So we can try it and see. So let's try it in the first statement. So throw error to throw. We can try it in all the other statements. And then inside the catch statement, we are going to change the inner HTML of error message to the value that we have thrown. Okay. Just bear in mind that this time we are throwing a string, okay, which is stored inside the variable error to throw, and then that string is going to be stored inside the variable ERR. Okay. So unlike the first example, where ERR was an object because we didn't specify anything to throw, so by default ERR was an object, and to get the error message we had to use the message property of the object ERR. In our second example, ERR is a string because we are throwing a string. Okay? So if we throw something specifically, then that variable or the value of that variable is going to be stored inside the ERR variable. Okay? So to change the inner HTML of our error message, we're going to use the variable ERR straight away. Okay? Alright, let's refresh the page and try a couple of passwords that don't fulfill the conditions. Okay? So I'm going to try 111 and 222. Okay? So let's click on submit. So indeed the password is too short, but we were expecting more than one error. Okay? And the reason why we got only the first error, which is password too short, is because when we run the code, once we run a throw statement, then we go out of the try statement. Okay? So we should not have many throw statements like this in our case inside the try statement. So what we're going to do, we are going to delete all these throw statements and have only one throw statement at the end of the try statement. Okay? We're going to place it right here. Okay? So let's save and refresh the page. And this time, if we try 111 and then 222 and we submit, then we can see all the error messages that we were expecting. All right. Obviously, you can build the same application using only if statements, but I just wanted to show you an example of how we use the try and catch statements. Okay.